Chapter 41, The Angelica Touch by Lindsay J. Sedgwick. 2 weeks on and the festival has well and truly taken over the life on this peninsula. I'd swear even the whales know something's up, if only because drips of colourful paint are washing out to sea. Since all the boats on the shore are being repainted, Mr. Ganley has a notion to run whale spotting convoys during the festival, especially if there's a full moon. I've just stuck my head into the kitchen for breakfast when Mum appears, grins at Oli and pulls me aside. Rick asked how I will feel about my daughter dating. You told him about me, I say? I'm good. Or dissociative, which would mean I'm potentially sociopathic. So I could become a psychopath, which would be messy and is definitely not in my career plan. I grab some toast and run before she can say anything else. Dylan's uncle got a reporter to interview Guppy for the Advertiser. Community revives its fortunes, which doubled as a call for volunteers and sponsorship. She got interviewed then on local radio and on a chat shop on RTE. Now we can't move for the amount that's happening and volunteers are coming in from all over the country. If Tidy Towns was on now, we'd win for the speed in which we are transforming this town. The cobbles are being replaced in the town centre, curbs and potholes are being mended or filled. Every plot of land is being landscaped and every bit of hoarding in town is being painted. Simon is running a crash course in the community centre tomorrow night on how to use Facebook and Twitter to spread information far and wide. The idea is that from next week, someone from every committee will post daily drip-feeding updates to pull in possible guests. Chris is in his element. Looking blonder though ever, though I'm not sure how, Grace reckons there must be Scandinavian blood in him, although Oni's hair is raven black. He says organising a festival is like building a shelving unit. First you get the dimensions right, make sure your spirit level is straight. Of course you need to source the right wood and varnish it to bring out the knots. So you're not just a whale expert, says Kitty, bringing his metaphor to an end, thankfully. Pretty face, says Chris. You meant you're not just a pretty face. Oh, did I? Says Kitty. What is this? Has this festival got to everyone? How many blind daters, he says, can he pull in for the festival itself? Having picked everyone's brains and contact lists for sponsorship ideas, Chris has secured crates of beer, boxes of wine, flights to offer as prizes, event seating, marquee and champagne for free. A couple of crates of heart-shaped jellies have been donated, not to mention fizzy water and some drink company wanting to sponsor Chris's aphrodisiac cocktail competition. He's determined to get us on the Guinness Festival circuit, which has failed to persuade Marcus to lend us Albert the Whale for a temporary installation outside the ballroom. Probably because Kitty's blowing hot and cold again. If we can get on the festival circuit, says Chris, we'll get a broadcaster. Aren't Oni's friends going to film it, I say? Oh, that's a documentary, which will be fantastic, but more use in drumming up interest for the next one. Be nice to get something on telly before the event this year. I preferred it when he talked about whales. There's still a buzz to see him fired up. It's as if he's been waiting for this all his life. Alongside Chris's calmness, Mum is a walking, talking whirlwind. She's coordinating everything, making sure everyone reaches their deadlines and has all the help they need. No one can say no to her now. She has become officially cool. Even Theo is in thrall. Way to go, your mummy said on the bus yesterday, as if he hadn't been saying totally different stuff 2 weeks ago. Every time we cross paths, Mum drags an opinion out of me on something. Potential posters, events, venues, bands, titles for different events, such as The Druids Never Let Drishog, Dowsing, Learn to Channel Nature, The Healing Power of Stone Circles, Aphrodisiacs and How to Make Your Own, Bachelor's Wet Shirt Competition, and the main bannerhead, Lovefest Drishog or Drishog Lovefest. Rumour now is that Big Brenda is modelling a statue of St. Lazarian for her ecumenical service in retaliation for all the attention being given to Bridget and her pagan goddess. But no one knows what he looks like, says Mum, which is probably why she's using Father Lafarge as her model, says Kitty, and the two of them giggle like lunatics. When not discussing festival business, all Mum can talk about is Rick this and Rick that, and oh, it's a nickname. We have to use nicknames, that's the rule. I guess it makes it more romantic, a bit like a masked ball. Yes, I suppose it is, says this poor elderly couple she has courted in the lobby as I arrive in from school. They back away, nodding and smiling. She's as full of goodwill as a dog in heat and just as annoying. Worse than a teenager, says Kitty. You know, says Mum with a grin. That's exactly how I feel. And then she hugs Kitty, thanks Guppy, and tries to sweep me into the air, only I still have my school bag on, so it doesn't work more than a tight squeeze, and that's not really something I want right now. You two made me do this, she says. Oh, I know you didn't have anything directly to do with persuading me, Angelica. But you gave me the space and encouragement to try, and you didn't let me give up. Oops. I never realised how annoying it could be when someone answers every email instantly. How do you keep a conversation like that going, let alone sparkling? Okay, so my Rick mails probably shouldn't sparkle so much, but honestly, I don't think they do. I'm only talking to her about the weather, politics, hopes and dreams. It's the name that's doing all the work. But it's tiring being some sort of wonder man for a woman you know is your mother and who can't seem to hear from you often enough. She nearly caught me on the computer last night, staring at her latest email, trying to find something to say. If I don't find something to write, she'll be on edge all night. Oh dear, says Grace, is Ricky Poo all worn out? Don't sneak up on me like that. I close down the site and drag her down to the kitchen to finish off some banoffee pie that has had my name on it since yesterday, when it became the last surviving slice. I can't reply to Mum with Grace hovering around like an accusing angel. She finally bores of me pretending not to be at all concerned about what she calls the fictitious twat situation and leaves. I've locked the door of my school bag and Rick sends Mum an innocuous message. Really busy, travelling with work, talk in a few days. Thing is, no matter how busy Mum is, she checks her emails at every opportunity for a message from him. I may have overdone it on the compatibility stakes. Before I turn off the computer again, I check my face for a beard, convinced I must have grown one by now, but it's clear, apart from a nice little trail of acne, that I'm putting down to stress, not hormones. At least she has learned not to talk about Rick in front of Chris. He's agreed to pretend he doesn't notice. A group of us has been delegated to paint the banner that will hang over Main Street. The only place with a floor surface large enough is the community centre, so the school bus drops us in for double hour to start on the lettering. Welcome to Drishog, home of the Love Fest. Catch you. I'm working on the welcome. Mum arrives in town as we get off the bus. She's trailed by wolf whistles from the council guys working on the cobbles. And I could swear she wiggled deliberately. Then, stranger still, she stops and there's a bit of banter. My former mum would have walked past not responding. This one was new. Grace notices too. Told you it would work, I say. She's confident and sexy, and that's all down to the mysterious Rick. Hadn't noticed her accepting any dates yet, says Chris, from real men who exist in the real world. Chillax, grr, she says. Thump. Look, it's phase 1, I say, the power princess. Mum's starting to enjoy the effect she has on men while she susses out which of them to encourage and accept. When I get home, Mum's dancing on the waves as if she can control the sea with her moods. But it's a dangerous game. We know this from drownings every year up and down the west coast. The sea is full of tumble and trouble, but you forget to worry when Mum is in top form, because then she's mesmerising to watch, like a seagull gliding on gusts of water. I change and try not to worry about what would happen if she fell badly or hit her head on the board. When I go in search of food, I find Chris holding a vigil of his own on the return of the stairs where the vaulted window faces the sea. Funny, I never noticed him worrying about her surfing before. Maybe he's afraid she'll hit one of his whales. Before I say anything, he waves some printouts at me. Great news. Really great news. You should tell Mum, I say. Good news might bring her back to shore. He looks at me then, and we so totally understand each other. We share the fear of the bystander. When he gets her back to the apartment, she's still wet and unable to hold and let alone read the faxes. Now will you tell me what this is about, she says. Chris beams. I'm happy to wait, if you'd like to shower first. Change into something warmer? He's only teasing her. Mum turns to me with that bemused look she gets when she doesn't understand someone's behaviour. This strange man, we know and love, insisted on waiting till we get back here so you could hear the news too, she says. I know, says I. He wouldn't tell me because you had to know first. Okay, Chris, spit it out, says Mum. Okay, here it is. As of half an hour ago, our little festival has corporate sponsorship. Mum grabs the paper from his hand and reads it, regardless of drips. Not any piddling sponsors either, he says. We've got the big buckaroos. When he's excited, he's not in charge of his vocabulary. Mega sponsors, Guinness and Aer Lingus. She looks as excited as him. Oh, the things we can do now. He's nodding, grinning. This makes us an important go-to festival, she says. We'll get coverage. All the tourism sites will want to include us. Delighted, she hugs him and heads for the shower, leaving her wet imprint on his overalls. Oh, but we've so little time. We have to get to absolutely everything right. We need to talk to the committee heads tonight. I'm on it, says Chris. But then Mum spoils it all. Calling from the bathroom, probably to me. Wait till I tell Rick. Yeah, says Chris. She has to tell Rick. If I didn't know better, I'd say he was jealous. But that'd be daft. To be continued.